streaming audio live, RTC Channel 5, audio and video live on the First Federal Savings Bank Facebook page. Cindy's here, Tanner's here. Hey, everybody, how we doing?
Morning, doing good, Tom.
Good morning, nice to have you with us. And, of course, also with us today from First Federal Savings Bank, Mr. Dick Belcher. Good morning.
What do you mean, of course?
Well, because you're here today. Nice to have you with us. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Hey.
Okay, now we got to get the rain stopped. You know,
we do.
We put you in charge of
do.
weather.
Well, I play that Creedence Clearwater song, Who'll Stop the Rain, 6 times a day.
Yeah.
And it just starts to rain more.
It doesn't work.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, this is the first day of summer.
It is.
You gonna get warm today, Tanner?
Hope so.
80.
Okay. RSS football field is being resodded as we speak.
It is.
They're also going to put in a new track.
Good.
Thanks to the insurance company. We're turning a disaster into a windfall.
Right. Lemons to lemonade, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Exactly.
Okay. Fulton County Jail closed on the property for the new jail at 2184 Sweet Gum.
Mm-hmm.
Joy Harjo becomes the first Native American to hold U.S. Poet Laureate post.
Yeah, very good. Congratulations.
Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
Are you familiar
actually.
with her poems?
Did not know that.
We're going to work on that over the weekend.
Okay.
All right.
Tanner's going to read some for us next week, right?
All right.
Good.
Iran shot down one of our drones.
Yeah, $135 million drone. Expensive drone.
Okay. And our president said, "That's it.
Yep.
That's it."
Yep.
And called out the troops, and then wait a minute.
Call them back.
Yeah, call them back.
Hold it.
We're thinking about it today. Along that line, what year did Ancilla College become accredited by the Indiana State Board of Education? We got some Ancilla people.
Yes, we do.
Up.
Surely I get a multiple choice on this.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, 1925, 1937, or 1966?
I'll work on that.
Okay, all right. Tanner, give us some sports.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. We don't have any local sports to report on. It's summertime, school's out, but we'll have that come August when football starts. We got some local ties to a national sports topic here. The NBA draft was last night. The Boston Celtics must like college basketball players from the state of Indiana because I took 2 of them last night.
Well, that's Brad Stevens' influence, right?
Yeah, and Gordon Hayward plays there now too.
Right.
So
Right.
Romeo Langford from Indiana University went there 14th, and then Carson Edwards went 33rd. He was drafted by the Philadelphia 76ers, then his rights were traded to the Celtics. And that's my biggest gripe with NBA draft is it's hard to keep up with who's going where.
Right.
Most of the time these players are going up with a hat of one team on, doing an interview, and during the interview it flashes up on the screen that the rights have been traded to another team. Can't they figure that out before they even walk up there?
There's an awful lot of activity on NBA draft night, whether it's the draft or whether it's just shuffling of players from here to there. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
There was well in the double digits moves last night in the first round alone.
Right.
First 30 picks. I mean,
Whoa.
players and then first round draft pick in 10 years and things like that. It's hard to keep up with unless you're writing it down.
Tell us again about the guy the Pacers drafted now.
Well, I cannot pronounce his name.
I can't either.
He's a 19-year-old, 6'11" guy from the country of Georgia.
Okay.
But what concerns me is they have 2 centers.
Yeah, they do.
Sabonis and Miles Turner. So one of those
What
guys
now?
going to get traded,
What
or
now?
I don't know. I never know when it comes to the Pacers drafts what they're doing. So
Were Edwards and Romeo the only 2 Indiana players that were drafted yesterday?
I believe so.
Okay.
Notre Dame and Butler did not have
Okay.
any. So, but Romeo went about where I thought he would.
Right.
Carson, I thought he was going to be late first round, but he went with the 3rd pick in the 2nd round.
Okay.
Still, he made it and made the right decision.
Good luck.
Good luck to
Sure.
both of those guys. A few other stories here. I guess I do have a local note. The Manitowoc Monster Triathlon was over the weekend. Gavin McNeely won the men's triathlon. Owen Snyder won the Pee Wee Triathlon. Ruby Hennessy won the youth triathlon. And Jennifer Zimmer won the women's triathlon.
Congratulations
to all those.
folks.
And it looked and sounded like it was a pretty successful event this
Evidently
year.
it was.
I think the water was pretty cold.
It was.
You know, besides
Was it
that?
69, 70 degrees, something like that.
at the
Pretty
highest.
chilly.
So,
Pretty chilly.
but they fought through that. So, Gary Woodland won the U.S. Open golf tournaments.
Yes, he did. Played
And
well.
and his life will not be the same. He's been on a media tour all week and done the Today Show and all that stuff for a guy who only had 3 tournament wins before that. A little different for him to get
Kind of a
used
fan
to.
favorite, though. You watched,
Very nice
if
guy.
you watched as he came around the course.
Very nice guy.
Right.
So happy to see him win. And then one last sports note I had. I read this yesterday, and I just can't wrap my mind around it. The Tampa Bay Rays are looking into becoming the first sports franchise to play in 2 different cities.
2 different countries.
And countries,
And
too,
countries,
yeah.
right.
If this goes through, which I have a tough time believing it will, they'll play the early season home games in Tampa, Florida, their late season games in Montreal.
Yeah, it's weird.
But then who gets the playoff games?
Duh.
So I don't know. I can't see that going. I think the mayor of St. Petersburg already came out and saying
No,
this isn't going to happen. So,
don't want that. No.
but just that they were even looking into that. Your fans aren't showing up now.
Bingo.
If you split the team and move them and say you're only going to have the early season game, they're definitely not going to come.
Exactly.
So I don't know.
Why bother?
Why don't those teams consult with you?
Yeah, I'm only a phone call away.
That's
So,
right.
All right, now tell us about Chris Smith this weekend, or coming weekend.
Next week up at Warren Golf Course in Notre Dame, Rochester native Chris Smith qualified for the U.S. Seniors Men's Open. So he'll be playing up there Thursday, hopefully through Sunday. Hopefully makes the cut and gets to the weekend.
How many players start out in that?
I should know that. And I
100,
don't.
130 maybe or something like
yeah,
that?
it's quite a
Thereabouts?
few.
And so then they cut half after 2 rounds?
Yeah,
or-
usually U.S. Open, I don't know if they still have the 10-shot rule. It used to be if you're
Okay.
within 10 shots, you make the cut, besides whatever the cut number is. Hopefully he plays well. I think he's going to have quite a bit of local following up
Oh,
there
I'm sure
watching.
he will. Sure.
So
Good luck to him. Good luck, Chris.
It'll be a neat event for Northern Indiana to
Yes,
have.
very
It'll
definitely.
be on Fox and Fox Sports 1. So,
Okay, good deal.
I got some tidbits here this morning. On this day in 1788, the U.S. Constitution came into effect when New Hampshire was the 9th state to ratify it.
Okay.
On this day in 1955, we're jumping ahead a few years here, Johnny Cash debuted in the top 10 country list with the song Cry, Cry, Cry.
Wow.
On this day in 1986, a guy named Bo Jackson signed with the Kansas City Royals. Pretty good athlete to play both in the NFL
Yes,
and
indeed.
MLB. And on this day in 2003, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, the 5th book of the series, was published. I don't know how many books off the top of my head ended up being published.
A lot of them.
A lot of them, a lot of movies, a
Right.
lot of money.
Exactly.
And today is National Take Your Dog to Work Day.
Did you do that?
He's at home.
Okay.
Well, you
Don't
can
tell
go
him.
back and get him.
Okay, if you say so. He'll go up to Bremen with me today then.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
World Music Day, Go Skateboarding Day, Selfie Day, and Peaches and Cream Day. So,
Excellent.
so you can bring your dog to work and take a selfie and a whole bunch of other things.
And just be happy.
Yep.
Right.
Where do we get
Thanks,
peaches and cream?
I'm sure we can find stuff
Sure,
if we look
sure.
hard enough.
You ready to have those?
Might. I don't know. That's a good
We
thought.
have some very
It's a good thought.
talented ladies, First Federal, that cook and bake, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure we can find somebody that
There you
makes them.
Tanner's on it. He's on
Okay.
it.
Some upcoming features. The Living Local Festival Parade is at 10 a.m. on Saturday, June 29th.
Week for tomorrow.
Yep, right here.
Right here.
downtown.
We'll be there.
Mendon Flying Club is holding their annual pancake and sausage breakfast from 7 to 10 on June 29th at the Fulton County Airport.
It's a busy day.
Fulton County Pack a Backpack is underway to sponsor a child, or for more information, inquire at 806 Main Street, which is Tidewater.
Don't forget, you may have this down too. On the 29th also is the ski show from the Moose Lodge.
Oh,
3 o'clock in the afternoon. So
Okay.
full day of activity next Saturday.
is that the ski club from Warsaw?
Yes, it is.
Is it the one that was here last year?
Yes, back for their 2nd year.
Ooh,
Exactly. They're good.
there. Okay, so spectators can go to the Moose Beach.
Yep.
Watch.
Exactly.
Good. First Financial Bank is collecting all next week for the animal shelter. They'll take lots of things for pets as well as cash. Cash is king, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Former Superintendent of Tippy Valley Schools, Brett Boggs, will be the Grand Marshal of the Akron 4th of July Parade.
Ah, good choice.
Yeah,
Good choice.
congratulations to him. I'll say some flowers to all who have donated to the Blackadder Sports Complex. Most recently, that was the Lions for $1,000 and Jackson Demolition $2,000.
Excellent.
David Jackson helped out with that. Thank you, David.
Made a lot of progress out there.
That's right. Have you noticed the flowers downtown?
Yes.
Very
Yes.
nice.
Got one right out in front of the window on 8th Street.
You taking care of it carefully?
Oh, yeah, but they're self-watering, which is
Yeah.
also nice. Right, they look nice.
Yeah, they do. They do. And speaking of nice flowers, check out Centennial Park.
Looks nice.
It's very
Yes,
nice,
it is.
and it's better than what we had there before.
Absolutely. Always better than rubble.
Okay. Okay, a little bit of money news. Yesterday was something else in the stock market. The Dow was up 249, closed at 26,775. But the big news was the S&P hit an all-time high.
Really?
All-time.
Did not know that.
Yeah. Along that line, the Federal Reserve Board met this week. Did nothing.
Is Chairman Powell going to be able to keep his job?
Well, it's a 4-year job.
Okay.
And he was asked that in the press conference, and that was his answer.
Okay, it's a 4-year job. I like that.
But the president keeps jawboning
He does.
to cut rates.
He does. Right.
But if I were the president, maybe I'd back off and maybe he'd drop rates.
Let him do his job.
Yeah, right. Well, they indicated that they did nothing this time, but the next meeting, they indicated that there would probably be a couple cuts throughout the year.
Okay. You still see the economy as being strong right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Certainly is in Indiana.
All right, good.
Okay. Elon Musk says he deleted his Twitter account.
Oh, no.
Big deal, huh?
I never got any tweets from him anyway.
Well, yesterday with the stock market, oil went up a bunch.
Right.
I think gold was up $49.
Yeah. Yeah, all because of the threat of the Middle East, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
You know, the president's going to meet with the president of China soon.
Okay.
Soon.
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 All right.
Yeah. Okay, come on down to First Federal today. We're open until 5 o'clock, and tomorrow from 8:30 to noon. You can come on up to that, Mike.
Bring over the stars of the show now.
Yeah. We're having our Customer Appreciation Day today at Bremen. So if you're in the Bremen area, stop by.
You've been in Bremen for quite a few years, right?
Yes, long time.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Was it like your third or fourth? Or I know you went Rochester, Winnemac,
And then Bremen.
Bremen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're right there by the Bowen Water Tower.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was quite a guy, too.
Governor Bowen.
You bet.
He was a customer of ours. Gave me an offer.
Very
He
good.
was a very supporter of Ancilla College.
Absolutely, he was.
He wrote a letter of recommendation for our son to get into med school.
Perfect.
We offer many different mortgage products: USDA, FHA loans, and conventional loans, one-step construction loans, premier, first-time home buyers. We got all kinds of loans.
Oh, I know.
Just come on down. We're offering Simply Free checking accounts, Simply Free business checking accounts. When you open a new checking account, you get a free gift: collapsible.
Collapsible? How about that? Sure.
Lawn chair.
Ah, very good.
That means if you sit on it, it collapses. No, don't do that. Right, Tanner?
Yes.
Okay. We offer financial services. Contact Mark Lubaugh or Brian Bell today for more information. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram. Borrowers must meet underwriting guidelines, and we are a member of FDIC and an equal housing lender, and our NMLS number is 399927.
Absolutely legal.
So we're legal right now.
Yes, we are.
Well, we want to welcome a couple people from Ancilla. We have, first of all, the president of Ancilla, Dr. Michelle Dvorak.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you. It's
President.
good to be here.
How long have you been president?
It's just been a little over a year.
Okay.
Former president retired, and so I stepped in.
And then Tim McLochlin, who's Director of Agriculture, which is rather new at Ancilla. Welcome. Glad to have you here.
My pleasure.
Okay, now they talk a lot about Ancilla as being one of the things that nobody knows about.
Yes,
Because you're at Donaldson.
best kept secret.
Yeah, best kept. Tell us what some things that are happening at Ancilla.
Well, there's all kinds of things happening. Actually, this morning, as I drove here to Rochester, there was a very light fog throughout the area, and our beautiful campus is full with trees and flowers and is absolutely gorgeous. So it's a perfect match for agriculture. So agriculture is definitely one of our programs that have a match. We've got a working farm, and students work on that farm, etc. Nursing is also one of our programs. We have the state approves the number of nurses that can be in the program. So we have 100 nurses in our program. And we are also, Monday, we start summer session 2. So if you're interested in anatomy and physiology or nutrition or other courses, English Writing 1, those kinds of courses, feel free to call the college because we haven't started yet. That will be Monday. We're just, with that whole agriculture, we're positioning ourselves to offer vet tech, vet nursing, and we're getting those final approvals right as we speak this day, as a matter of fact, so that we will be able to launch that in the very near future. So there's all kinds of exciting things happening at Ancilla.
Tim, tell us about this vet tech.
Yeah, it's an exciting deal. You know, we've got in the state of Indiana, there's a big change going on. There's fewer and fewer large animal vets. There's more dependence on quality trained technicians in these clinics. If you've been in a vet clinic recently, they run like a hospital. You know, the old model of the vet does the work, his wife keeps the books, and the kids clean the cages is gone. You know, they maximize these clinics for profitability and care for the customers and the clients' animals. So yeah, it's a big need in Indiana. There aren't many opportunities for students, and you know, I know WROI, return on investment, right?
Sure enough.
You know, one of the things we do at Ancilla when we start a new program isn't, hey, wouldn't it be neat to do this? We want to make sure that there's a return on the investment for these people, these young people that put their trust in us and make an investment in themselves, that at the end there is a return, that they're going to be in a career that's going to pay them well and have some benefits.
You know, one of the neat things about Ancilla is that we are small. It's a 2-year college, and the personal nature, the personal attention that Tim gives the students, the ag students, or the personal nature that occurs in the classroom, because the classrooms are also small. So it's a great match for a student who says, I don't know exactly what I want to be in the future, but I'm sure that I will be led that way. So I'm going to start out in a 2-year college rather than going to a very large institution. The transition from this small 2-year college to a Purdue, to any of our colleague institutions, makes it quite seamless because we have worked in the background to make sure that the courses offered at Ancilla will transfer to our 4-year colleague institutions.
Tim, you mentioned that vet tech thing and the modern day vet clinics. Unfortunately, I had the experience to be in a vet clinic in Fort Wayne, which is the emergency. I think there are 2 of them in the state. There's one in Fort Wayne and one maybe in Indianapolis or somewhere else. And you are exactly right. That is run just like a hospital. It's really amazing the technology, the way the people respond to the pets and to the customers, and it's quite the deal anymore.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
And there's a demand for it because there have been so many people who, like Tanner earlier mentioned, that this is bring your dog to work, and there are so many people who have dogs, so therefore the need for vets is just commensurate.
Dogs and cats.
Dogs and cats, yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's right.
Man, all kinds of pets. There's really unique pets too.
When you talk about your 2-year nursing degree, define that a little more for us. What all is involved in that, and what do people walk away from with that?
People, actually, we have 2 programs there. We have a program, so if a student has an LPN, that is a bridge from an LPN to an RN.
Okay.
And it's a selective program, so we actually had 350 applications for the positions that were open. And so that's one program. The other one is Associate of Science in Nursing, the ASN degree, and that is an RN, and you can get it that way as well. So there's 2 ways to get to the goal of working as a nurse and available for local hospitals. There's an incredible need still out there for professional nurses.
We're speaking this morning to Dr. Michelle, President of Ancilla, and Tim McLochlin, who's Director of Agriculture. Tim, give us a little bit of your background.
Oh, great. Yeah. I grew up between Plymouth and Argus. Went to Plymouth High School, very active in 4-H and FFA. And then when I concluded high school, because I was involved in so many of the 4-H and FFA activities, I had some good fortune in some horse judging contests, won the state contest, ended up going to Illinois to a junior college to judge horses, and was fortunate enough to be on a world championship horse judging team. And at that time, Illinois junior colleges were full of Indiana kids. And it was because, until recently, there really hasn't been much of a junior college presence in Indiana.
This was the only one for a long time.
Absolutely. Then Ivy Tech, and obviously, Ancilla's been there all along. But anyway, and then transferred to Southern Illinois University at the completion of my junior college. And my goal in Illinois was always to be in a junior college. I wanted to teach high school for a little bit and then be in a junior college. We ended up moving back to Indiana because my wife got a job in my hometown. And at that point, I'd kind of given up on the whole junior college idea. But luckily enough, this opportunity came along, and it's funny how life happens and you fall into great situations. But it's been a blessing, and to get to work, I miss the high school environment a little bit, but I still get to work with great ag teachers like Justin Pearson down here in Rochester, and so many of the others, and so I kind of have the best of both worlds now.
How could you ask for anything more?
Really.
That's right.
There you go. There you go.
Well, Sister Michelle, tell us a little bit about Ancilla. First of all, where is it located?
Okay, Ancilla is located in Donaldson, Indiana, about 7 to 8 miles from Plymouth.
Suburb, right?
Yes, a suburb, yes. And it's a small little burb there, and but we have acres, we got a lake, we have recreational opportunities for students, and kayaking. We're getting new kayaks and paddle boats and those kinds of things. So it's a place for others to visit besides our college students as
Okay,
well.
now, up until recently, you had no dorms. Tell us about the dorms that you have now and the dining facilities.
We have 2 dorms. Each of them hold about 90 students. And they're state-of-the-art. They're beautiful, beautiful dorms. Actually, the rooms are quite large. And when parents come to see them, they go, oh, this is much larger than my son or my daughter has at home. And then there's a dining facility associated right with it. So all 3 buildings are very close to each other. And then the students just walk over to the college and have their courses there. We have a relationship with the Lifeplex, which is in Plymouth. It's about 8 minutes away, 9 minutes away. And we also have transportation that we provide to the students so that they can get to the Lifeplex, work out, come back, and hit their studies again. We also have athletics, by the way.
I was going to ask you about that.
And as a matter of fact, our bowling team won the national championship
Really?
this past
Cool.
year.
Congratulations.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then our men's basketball, their team got into the championship and placed 8th in the state.
Very good.
For not in the state, in the nationals. And so we're delighted. The students, they have to work really hard on their academics, and they play well as well.
That's great. Tell us a little bit of the background of Ancilla. How did it happen?
Oh, you asked the question before.
Yeah.
When did Ancilla get its accreditation? And so actually, Ancilla College started off in 1936 because the sisters needed to get their education, and so what the sisters started with a partnership with DePaul. So that whole concept of a partnership is something Ancilla's very, very acquainted with. So DePaul University approved and granted the degrees at that time for our sisters. From 36 until, Tom, when is your guess?
There you go. Right.
66. And then in 66, Ancilla applied and received their own accreditation. At that point, it shifted from education for the sisters to education for the local area. So Ancilla College actually provides educational opportunity for students in particular, a 5-county area. So that's the majority of our students come from there, although our students are international as well, and they're from a larger, further than just the 5-county area. So we consider ourselves to be right in the community, and our graduates graduate and work in the community.
How many students?
We have, our goal is 600 for this fall,
Okay.
and we're on the way there, and so that makes it a very alive place there.
Now, as I recall, and I had the privilege of serving on the board of trustees there for about 10 or 12 years, and I got to tell you, I was really impressed with Ancilla and the sisters and the work that you do there. But tell us, originally it was all ladies, right?
All women, right? And in '66, it became co-ed. So
Okay.
yeah, so everybody's welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for stopping by
Yeah,
this
we
morning.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And tell us, and telling the story about Ancilla, you want more information, you can go online and I get the information
Absolutely.
there. And I assume that people out there that are interested, potential students, can still register for fall.
Absolutely. Welcome to register for fall. As a matter of fact, today from 8:30 until 4:30, we're having registration days. We have Experience Ancilla days coming up, and registration days, more registration days, so that students can be all set for their fall semester.
At one time, I knew what Ancilla meant.
Handmaid of the Lord, yes.
Okay.
It's responding to the call from God.
Very
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Our trivia this morning, what year did Ancilla College become accredited by the Indiana State Board of Education? Was it 1925, 37, or 66?
66.
Right!
Yay! I was listening.
Okay.
I was listening.
All right,
Oh.
you get the award for the day.
I thought since it was First Federal, I always won money. No?
That was yesterday.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Last week.
Okay.
Albert Hubbard, American writer, says this: "Do your work with your whole heart, and you will succeed. There's so little competition."
Well said. Dick Belcher, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen from Ancilla, thank you very much
Thank
for being
you.
here on the First Federal
Our pleasure.
Thank you.